We had the 2021 annual stockholder meeting, which was absolutely, literally the most boring thing that ever happened. I mean, there's literally nothing important to happen. There's some board of director changes. Literally, there's nothing. Okay, we also had some interesting stuff, though. The saliva could be more effective than the traditional swabs for COVID-19 testing. Okay, this actually might be Bionano and Sapphire. A little bit complicated. We're going to go over that. We also had the EACR event, right? The European Association for Cancer Research. That is going on still. We got no news on that, but we did get news on the ACC, the American Cytogenetic Conference, right? And we actually went through there, and there's actually nothing new that we could find. We did that on stream, but there's nothing new that we could find. Yet it is always great to see that there's more publications, more things that are likely to attribute to more academic praise for the Sapphire system and optical genome mapping. We had a bullish article, and we had a job listing that I've not seen anyone talk about yet, that was just posted 2 days ago. This is actually a little bit cool, and we're going to talk about that. And then we had this short interest go down a fair amount, actually, and some interesting data changes and some 2 million shares that seemingly disappeared, but we actually do know what happened there. And then we also have, is Bionano Genomics a buy? We have this channel, which, no disrespect to them, but I'm just going to give you my thought on this here in a second. But these guys are very, like, when I say very, I mean they are extremely bearish on BNGO, and they essentially, if this is going to do good, if this company is going to do well, it will be because of luck, not because of the Sapphire or the nano nozzle, or anything that we've been talking about for every video. I want to talk about that, and you can see, yeah, I disliked it, Kate, and for good reason. All right, no disrespect to these. I'm sure these are great men. I'm sure these are great people. I don't mean to pick on them, but we're gonna be talking about what I think about these guys' their opinion. Firstly, starting off with this, because this is probably arguably the most important thing today. This is not the most important update video for BNGO, to be honest with you, but this one is actually slightly, this could be huge. So basically, if you go down here, notes for editors, there is Alka Chaubey, our CMO, right? So the Chief Medical Officer of Bionano was listed there, and if you actually Control F Sapphire or Sapphire OGM, optical genome mapping, there's nothing. There's no mention of Sapphire or Bionano or anywhere in this freaking article, which you may say, well, Brandon, what the heck is there to see here? Well, saliva can be more effective than the other swabs, traditional swabs for COVID-19 testing. Now, we know, if you scroll down here, this university in Georgia here, and this doctor, they have a Sapphire, and also this doctor here, several breakthroughs / studies / reports with him using the Sapphire to actually find stuff, right? This doctor, I actually don't know if it's a he or her, but that doesn't matter. Okay, they are using the Sapphire to use stuff all the time. They have the Sapphire, although there's no mention of it. There's been speculation that they can't actually attribute anything to the Sapphire because they need more corroboration. They need more evidence, proof, and to actually say that the Sapphire was used to either help with this, or that the Sapphire actually can use saliva swabs instead, and samples, not swabs, samples for your genome, right? To actually analyze the DNA and linearize that DNA, right? All you need is an uncorrupted DNA molecule. Then the nanochannels of the Sapphire will actually go in there. Well, because of the nanochannels, they will linearize the DNA, right? So the saliva, there's been speculation today, and we obviously, if you watch the stream, you know this. We dissected it live, and a lot of people are thinking that this could be something big, but it's still pretty speculative right now. Now to this, because believe it or not, this is probably the second most interesting thing today, which is sad to say, but nonetheless, okay, you can't complain. We're still up a huge amount from where our community was buying the dip at. So is Bionano a buy? Basically, we can just watch. We're just gonna watch a small little portion of this, and you'll see pretty quickly what their opinion is on the stock. Okay, these guys. Now, we're not gonna go over a lot of this just because I don't want to, just because I can't, and I get way too pissed off. And I actually watched a fair amount of this. I made it about halfway through. And basically, these guys, without having an understanding of even how you actually use the samples, actually get the sample and what kind of samples you actually need, right? You can just clearly tell if you just watch this video, and you can watch this video fine, right? I just like it. Okay, no disrespect to these people. I'm sure these are great people, but here's the thing. If you're going to make a strong take about Bionano, you better understand how the product works. And I'm very nice. I like to think I'm very unbiased. I like to think I'm very candid. These guys are extremely bearish. and essentially call Bionano's potential success, possible success, luck if it were to happen. Which blows my mind when they, at least, I did not even watch the whole video because I couldn't. I saw enough. I watched a fair amount of it, and I have not seen, through the first part, no reason why the Sapphire is not going to take over for CMA fish and karyotyping. The fundamental reason why the Sapphire is so good and why this company is a bargain is because the Sapphire is better at a huge part of genome detection than anything in the world. It has a faster turnaround time, less hands-on use, and is cost-effective. Plus, LOH detection is on the way. SNV detection, single nucleotide variant detection is on the way. No mention of the nanonozzle. No mention of the 5 large clinical studies. No mention of the Russell 3000 inclusion. Okay, you know how they talk about, oh, you know, they went up because they got a new CCO. Oh, wow. Why did that happen? That's just, you know, that's insane, right? It's not like we got Russell 3000 inclusion. It's not like there's going to be $90 billion, not for Bionano, but for all of the Russell 3001 and 2000 inclusions. Bionano is likely to get millions of dollars worth poured into it just for that fact, right? Also, funds track the Russell 3000. It's not like we got 3 Sapphire adoptions. China Sapphire adoptions equated to about $1 million in USD revenue. It's not like we've been manipulated. It's not like we've been due for a correction. It's not like the CEO has... Okay, you guys know the spiel. I could literally go on for about an hour or more with this about this video. And I honestly, I would like to honestly reach out to these bears here and these people and just talk to them and just ask them why they think the Sapphire is not going to get globally adopted. Why? Like, do you know what nanonozzle is? Do you know that fish and karyotyping and CMA have not even no business at all being called the gold standard, right? Do they? I don't know. But basically, these guys hate the company. They're spreading FUD, in my opinion. And look at the dislike ratio, right? I mean, they have some dislikes. A lot of people agree with them, right? Obviously, a lot of them agree with them, right? And this video is getting... I mean, these guys have a big freaking fan base, man. They're doing much better than I am. And these guys are literally, I don't understand this, but yeah, you can add here. We could do a full video breakdown on what these guys are missing, but I just wanted to bring that up because that is actually, believe it or not, the second most important thing probably today, right? Talking about their Twitter, there was the ACC, the American Cytogenetics Conference, right? If we look at their events, we've got the European Association for Cancer Research that's going on right now. We have not gotten any news about that. We got this one coming in soon, and that's pretty much the only new recent events that we know of that are going to happen pretty soon. Also, if you look on LinkedIn, right, we have this job right here posted 2 days ago, Operations Support Specialist, right? So obviously, it doesn't take a genius to figure out, oh, they're hiring people, they're likely expanding their business. Well, you also might say, well, what if they're expanding their business, but actually, what if they're not because they're just firing people and they need replacements? Well, when you have this many people, this many job postings in the last 2 months and then 3 months, and you're not firing anyone, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that these guys are expanding their business. So if we actually look at this one was posted 2 days ago. Obviously, it's Salt Lake City, Utah. Lineagen, that's where they're located. Bionano's headquarters is in San Diego, California, right? So if you look at the actual, the areas of responsibility. I'm not going to bore you with the details, but essentially, this is essentially for, at least to my understanding, some of the job responsibilities of this new position here that they're trying to get people for is the 5 large clinical studies, right? The prenatal, postnatal, hematological malignancies and lymphomas, leukemias. That's their 3, 4, right? So prenatal 1, 2 postnatal, 3 leukemia, 4 lymphomas, and then 5 solid tumor blood cancer research. So you pair all those together, and that's a lot of work, right? Also factor in that the CEO said 1,000 patients in each, and that's going to be a lot of work. So they're obviously, it's good to see they're trying to get more personnel to help them get that stuff done potentially quicker, potentially faster than their original time. Short-term, more expenses. Long-term, likely more revenue and net income because of this. Bigger your company gets, the more economies of scale you can do if you're successful, obviously, and you obviously get differential advantages, flywheel effect, learning curve. These things do help businesses, but obviously it's going to depend on how their execution, of course. Okay, I'm not going to tell you, oh, we're going to go to the moon now that we got an operations support specialist. Okay, I'm just trying to tell you the news here that this is the new little post 2 days ago, so no one really has talked about this yet. So anyways, next up, short interest, right? Actually, you know what? Let's do this article first. 3 meme stocks to buy right now. We're still being called a meme stock. Bionano is still being called a meme stock. And this is fine. I really don't have a problem with it. Yeah, okay, if they want to call us a meme stock and say we're running just because Reddit right? When Wall Street Bets is censoring all BNGO posts, okay, fine. That's just more of a buying opportunity. Okay, laugh, call it a meme stock once the Sapphire is globally adopted and we're making $1.8 billion in revenue like the discounted cash flow model per Ragnaros is projecting. If we look down at the Bionano Genomics here, it is a buy, right? Widespread adoption still looks to be years in the making, but it is the type of tool that could go on to help the world rid the world of cancer and other diseases. That's exactly right. Redditors have been busy in this meme stock. And while many of those traders have already cashed out, the monthly chart is looking quite agreeable with analyst forecasts of over $12. Okay, I don't think it will take that long and suspect Wall Street's sell side may have to raise estimates. Confirmed hammer corrective, okay, yada yada, right? They use the stochastic indicator and a candlestick pattern to make the assumption somehow, I guess, that a rally through $12 and perhaps closer to this year's high of $15.69 looks doable by year's end. So we're a buy. I mean, it's not what you want to see. I mean, I don't care. Honestly, a lot of people get pissed off when they hear Bionano as a meme stock just because it implies that, you know, there's no fundamentals. The Sapphire is not worth anything. It's just a Reddit stock. I honestly could care less. I don't care how many bears there are. I know that some people understand the tech and some people don't. If they don't, they call it a meme stock. If they do, they call it a bargain. And that's as simple as it gets. So next up, I want to talk about the short interest, right? So you got minus 6.6166% a day, and there's basically a little bit of confusion here. I was confused earlier as well, but basically, if you look at the publication day here, there was a confirmed 36 million short interest settlement day of May 28th, and it's a little bit confusing, but essentially just to keep it pretty simple. The estimated short interest was 2 million higher than, I guess, their estimated short interest now. And it's still 38 million is still a very high increase over the previous 36 million, especially when you consider May 14th was the publication date there, and May 28th was right here, all the way right here, right? It just tells you that shorts think we're going to go way lower. They think that they can send this way lower, and right, obviously with the gamma squeeze potential that I do believe is still their potential, right, possibility. I've never claimed that it's going to happen. I've always claimed that there is a perfect storm setup that has been close to setting up. We did have the setup, but obviously we have to hold it, and then we have to wait for the shorts to cover, and we have to get exposure on Wall Street Bets, or not have to, but it would be nice, right? That has not happened, but the open interest does justify a gamma squeeze. The expiration is next week, but anyways, you guys already know the gamma squeeze stuff. I already made several videos on that. Pair that with the short interest data, it is still on the table, not as likely as it was earlier, right? Because we need to actually hold above 8. I mean, 8. It's not like okay, we have to hold above 8.16 or else we're not going to get it. It's not a clear number, okay? It's not like a science, exact science of short squeezing, gamma squeezing, okay? But the fact of the matter is, gamma squeeze expiration dates next week. More calls being bought than puts, short term. Short interest has risen, stop price has risen, exposure is there if Wall Street Bet stops censoring us. You put all that together and you have a case to be made, and PR dropping, right? Inquiries in several different countries being made right now, to my knowledge. This is the case for a short squeeze potential. There is a possibility still on the horizon. It's as simple as it gets, okay? Now, that is pretty much all of the news today, right? None of this is crazy news. If we look at the technicals here, there was a little bit of selling going on right at the close, which is not what you want to see. Yeah, look at that volume right there. And what I do want to talk about the volume today, actually. If we look at the volume, I mean, it's just, if we compare it to, this is Bionano is the yellow right here, right? If we compare that to Microvision and Nano Dimension, the red, I mean, dude, it's just sadness. Okay, Microvision is doubling us. We are literally losing to our average 3-month volume count here, which is 23 million. We only have 20 million. This is one reason why we're not doing too well. Okay, we don't have any interest or exposure. Okay, so that's just one reason. Looking at the charts, I don't want to spend too much on the charts because we do on the live stream all day, and I don't want this to be too long. But basically, we have an ascending level here, 21 SMA, and the ascending level of support right here. Those are two likely retracements. I would love to see us just go sideways for a little while and then wait for this 21 SMA or the ascending level to catch up with us, right? Go sideways for a couple of days, or maybe even like halfway into next week, maybe even all of next week. Wait for these levels to come up and catch up with us, get a bounce, break 912, head to the $10 and all-time high price target that I've set if Wall Street Bets were to help us squeeze this, and we would be all happy, okay? Everybody would be happy if that were to happen. Now, are we still in uptrend territory? Yes, we are. Okay, on the 4-hourly, we're still looking great. You have the bullish flip on the Supertrend still. You're still green. You did get the bearish flip on the SAR, the parabolic stop and reverse indicator, right? But if you look at the daily, okay, we're in bullish territory. If you look at the weekly, we are actually in bearish territory technically on the weekly. If you look at the stochastic indicator on the weekly, however, you're in bullish territory. Okay, I mean, by and large, if you look at the moving averages on any time frame, you're just, I mean, there is no case to be made that you're in firm downtrend territory right now. There's just no case to be made, right? You want to make the case that we're short-term bearish? Sure, go ahead, okay? We have a descending trend line and a descending support, descending resistance, okay? That's as simple as it gets. But at the same time, look at the moving averages, look at the golden crossing, okay? There's a case to be made that you're bearish like the next few days, but more than that, not really. So am I selling shares? Am I bearish short term? No, I'm not necessarily bearish short term, but I don't. The short term. Okay, let me tell you something, guys. The short term is more determined by the high growth and the markets, broader markets, than it actually is Bionano's own technicals. Okay, fundamentals will prevail and send us to what I think is going to be very nice and rewarding price target or valuation that's going to reward shareholders very nicely. But I don't know when that's going to happen if it does. Okay, so everyone needs to make their own decision. Showing the portfolio off. That's all the technical analysis we're going to do. Showing the portfolio off on days like these, right? We're down. What are we down? Like 1%? What are we down? 2%? Okay, 1.5% today. You have to remind yourself, the bears that are bragging to you in the comments on Webull and making fun of you, right? Don't worry about the money. Okay, the money is worry about the money, sure, but the percent is what matters. Okay, if you average down and was in the red on May 13th, look at where you're at now. Okay, this is just me. I know so many of you that averaged down way more aggressively than I did, okay? 81% literally just with Bionano. That's it, okay? 81% with a portfolio that's literally just Bionano, basically, okay? There's one share and 3 shares there's only one share and this is the call option right there, okay? Literally, it's just Bionano. That's as simple as it gets. You have to remind yourself that the bears are trying to spread FUD, and it's in their best interest to spread FUD. With that being said, I won't rant any longer. I have low energy today, and I'm going to be probably much more loud and crazy tomorrow, most likely. So anyways, with that being said, I'm tired today. But yeah, anyways, with that being said, thank you all so much. This is not financial advice. I will see you all in the next one.